Like, it's really rough.
Cruz Beckham seemingly tearing his big brother Brooklyn and Brooklyn's wife Nicola to shreds.
It definitely takes a toll on you mentally.
They're the short updates followers can see in their DMs near a user's profile pic. According to multiple reports, the now deleted messages came in the form of Instagram notes.
I don't have the words.
A source told ET in May the boys' parents, David and Victoria, think Nicola can be very controlling and jealous. Another source explains Nicola doesn't like how David and Victoria speak to her husband. They believe she has created issues so that Brooklyn doesn't spend as much time with them and their family.
We have each other, we have each other's back more than anything.
Brooklyn's truly like my best friend.
Cruz Beckham just dropped a cryptic message that fans are calling a direct hit at his brother Brooklyn, and it's already tearing the Beckham family narrative apart. In this video, we'll unpack what Cruz's shady post really meant, the years of quiet rivalry between the Beckham brothers, and how one subtle message exposed deep fractures behind their picture-perfect image. The truth is sharper than fans expected. Which Beckham brother do you think feels most misunderstood, Brooklyn or Cruz? Comment your take before we reveal the message that started it all. It started quietly, a black Instagram story from Cruz Beckham with just one line. Some people only clap when it's about them. No tags, no context, no emoji. Within minutes, fans dissected every word. Many believed it was a direct shot at his older brother Brooklyn, who had just appeared in another glossy magazine spread about his perfect marriage to Nicola Peltz. The timing wasn't coincidence, it was punctuation. Even tabloids that usually ignore Cruz picked it up. He deleted the post in less than an hour, but screenshots raced across Twitter and TikTok faster than any clarification could. The phrase hit a nerve because it sounded too specific to be random. Whether intentional or not, it reignited the old question, is there still a feud inside the Beckham family? Words can vanish, but their echoes don't. The Beckhams have long been sold as Britain's royal family of pop culture. Flawless, united, aspirational. David and Victoria built an empire on appearances, matching outfits, coordinated family shoots, and public displays of harmony.
Brooklyn and Nicola fly from Los Angeles to London, so they were ever so surprised, and David and Victoria know they've landed in London. Given the fact that they were in the UK, staying in London didn't go to this party. On that occasion, they thought, okay, they haven't come to this one, maybe they'll come to the next. It was obviously very upsetting for David and Victoria, and so David was heartbroken. He told them he would. And so at that point, Victoria became furious. David became upset.
But people who followed them for years know that perfection is rarely peaceful. Observers notice who skips family parties, who stands where at red carpets, and who gets tagged in posts. These micro gestures form a digital diary of tension. Behind smiles, control plays out like choreography. Every brand has internal politics, and the Beckham family is a brand before it's a household. That's why fans read meaning into Cruz's post, because cracks in a carefully curated image speak louder than press releases. A perfect picture hides imperfect truth. Never forever. Brooklyn Beckham's marriage to Nicola Peltz didn't just unite two families, it redrew his identity. Once known as David and Victoria's eldest, he shifted to being the Peltz family's newest extension, immersed in their luxury circles and New York lifestyle. With Nicola's billionaire background and Hollywood lineage, the young couple leaned into a entirely different brand, one that no longer needed Beckham approval to shine. For Cruz, who still lives under his parents' guidance, that change may have felt like abandonment masked as adulthood. Public appearances with Brooklyn became rare, and conversations about him turned formal in interviews. Independence can look empowering from the outside, but inside a tight-knit family, it can resemble defection. One brother's freedom became another's distance.
Well, Brooklyn bounced from photography to fashion to cooking. With endless media coverage, Cruz tried to build something slower, a music career. He posted acoustic covers and studio snippets, but his releases never broke through commercially. The shadow of Beckham fame became his biggest obstacle. Every song drew comments comparing him to his father's success or his brother's visibility. Even supportive fans measured his talent against his surname. Industry insiders say he feels the weight of constant comparison, which explains his new sharper tone online. When effort doesn't translate to recognition, frustration starts speaking louder than lyrics. For Cruz, validation from family matters more than charts, and lately, even that seems divided. Comparison fuels envy. Individuality builds endurance. Victoria Beckham's influence over her son's image has always been unmistakable. She manages optics with designer precision. With Cruz, she highlights his ambition, work ethic, and creative side, calling him her musical prodigy. With Brooklyn, she's diplomatic but distant. Insiders recall that tension began when Nicola Peltz and Victoria reportedly disagreed over the wedding dress design in 2022. Since then, Victoria has leaned closer to Cruz, perhaps as emotional balance. Every proud mom caption toward Cruz now reads as a subtle signal of which son she trusts more. The public sees favoritism. Victoria likely sees loyalty, yet those optics feed gossip like oxygen feeds flame. Favoritism divides quietly. Distance multiplies fast. David Beckham rarely speaks about family drama, but his silence is strategy, not ignorance. He maintains his image as the calm patriarch, keeping interactions measured and online gestures minimal. Yet observant fans notice his pattern. More comments on Cruz's music posts, fewer public mentions of Brooklyn. During promotional tours, he mentions family unity but avoids details. That restraint fuels speculation that he's privately managing fallout while protecting the Beckham brand. For a man known for team loyalty, choosing between two sons' emotional camps may be his hardest balancing act yet. Every like, every omission becomes its own headline. In public families, silence is never neutral. Every time family rumors flare up, Brooklyn and Nicola respond the same way. Coordinated love posts. A new couple's photo, a gushy caption, hearts and emojis flooding the comment section. It feels rehearsed, like a PR defense disguised as affection. Insiders say they've learned to overcorrect the gossip cycle by flooding the feed with positivity. But to fans, it comes across as too polished to be spontaneous. The more they try to appear unbothered, the more people suspect they are. In a media world driven by emotion, silence feels cold, and overcompensation feels calculated. Deflection feeds curiosity faster than denial kills it.
Cruz has turned subtle rebellion into songwriting. His recent unreleased demo, leaked through fan pages, included lyrics about being seen only when convenient. The line sent forums into chaos. Critics think it's artistic frustration, but listeners tied it directly to his family dynamics. The song's melancholy tone mirrors a kid trying to be heard in a loud household of icons. Cruz may never publicly confirm it, but his lyrics speak more clearly than his interviews ever could. When fans connect pain to melody, a message travels further than any post. When art hurts, it's probably honest. If you've stayed this far, you know the story isn't about petty drama. It's about the quiet pressure inside fame's walls. Subscribe if you want to see how this feud connects to deeper family patterns that even PR can't rewrite. And keep watching, because Cruz's post triggered more than gossip. It set off a family-wide response that's still unfolding. Stay curious. The next part explains how the Beckhams tried to control the narrative. Hours after the cryptic post spread online, a source close to the Beckhams told tabloids Cruz's message was completely unrelated to his brother. That statement only fueled suspicion. The Beckham family's PR machine has long mastered quiet damage control, quick denials, friendly exclusives, and vague statements about misinterpretation. But in this digital era, vague doesn't work. Screenshots speak louder than press releases. Fans compare statements to timelines and expose contradictions instantly. For a family trained in brand management, losing control of the narrative is new territory. You can manage perception, but not interpretation. Within 24 hours, TikTok detectives had theories mapped out like police evidence boards. Some said Cruz was shading Brooklyn and Nicola for skipping recent family time. Others claimed it was about his stalled music career. The wildest theory suggested Victoria ghost-wrote the post to provoke reconciliation. None were confirmed, yet engagement skyrocketed. In celebrity culture, speculation replaces proof, and virality becomes its own truth. For the Beckhams, online chaos keeps them relevant, but also vulnerable. Attention fuels both fame and fatigue. Nicola Peltz remains the story's most polarizing figure. Some fans paint her as manipulative, others see her as the misunderstood outsider who married into a dynasty. Old interviews show hints of discomfort, moments where she described being different from the Beckhams. The wedding dress dispute with Victoria only deepened that distance. Nicola's American openness clashes with the British restraint of her in-laws. For Brooklyn, love means loyalty. For her parents, loyalty means tradition. That cultural gap turned personal tension into global speculation. Marriage merges families, not personalities. Over the past 2 years, fans have tracked a quiet pattern: who shows up and who doesn't. When David turned 50, Brooklyn and Nicola were notably absent. When Cruz's music showcase premiered in London, only Victoria and David attended. Family milestones that once filled headlines now highlight absence instead of unity. Each missed event turns into a tabloid clue. The repetition matters because public consistency used to define the Beckhams. Now, even silence becomes evidence. No matter how often they claim everything's fine, calendars tell a different story. Patterns don't lie. People do. Cruz Beckham isn't the quiet youngest son anymore. He's experimenting with a rawer sound, more open interviews, and subtle statements that challenge his family's polished image. In recent press, he described fame as a weird inheritance, a line that resonated with fans who see him stepping out of the brand. This evolution feels intentional, a slow rebellion through authenticity. For a kid who grew up rehearsing perfection, imperfection now feels powerful. The more he speaks, the more people see individuality, not imitation. Finding your voice sometimes means losing your silence. Victoria Beckham's instincts are maternal before managerial. Insiders describe her as fiercely protective of her children, especially the youngest two. To her, defending Cruz online or guiding his career isn't favoritism, it's nurturing. But from the outside, every supportive post about Cruz looks like a side taken. That's the paradox of celebrity motherhood. Protect one child publicly, and it looks like you've abandoned another. Her silence on Brooklyn's controversies feels cold, though it may come from caution, not distance. In the spotlight, even love can be misread as bias. David Beckham stands between two worlds, his role as father and his identity as global icon. The same balance that made him a disciplined athlete now traps him in emotional diplomacy. Supporting Brooklyn could look like ignoring Cruz, and vice versa. Every gesture becomes a headline. His solution has been to emphasize family first, yet each appearance without Brooklyn reignites the feud narrative. In truth, he's navigating a PR war disguised as parenting. When love becomes strategic, everyone loses a little warmth. Could the Beckham brothers ever reconcile? Sources say private communication still exists, but it's rare and careful. Family insiders claim Victoria hopes for a full reunion at an upcoming event, possibly her next fashion show. Yet, genuine healing can't happen under cameras. True reconciliation would require something both brothers have struggled with: humility. For all their differences, they share one trait: pride built from legacy. Until that breaks, silence will stay louder than forgiveness. Public peace starts with private truth. Step back, and the feud looks less like rivalry and more like a side effect of fame. Growing up Beckham means carrying a brand before building a self. Every post, partner, and photo becomes performance. Cruz's cryptic message wasn't shade, it was a mirror. It reflected a family built on control, loyalty, and image, now cracking under transparency. The feud isn't about Instagram posts, it's about identity under pressure. The Beckhams remain icons, but icons are still human, and behind every perfect photo is a story no filter can fix.